stars Seann William Scott as Doug Glatt, a very nice but intellectually dim-witted man in his 30s who is a bouncer for a local Pennsylvania club who really doesn't have a lot going for in his life. He's pretty bored with the direction that's going in, and his parents aren't really happy with the fact that he didn't follow in their history of becoming a doctor for his profession, but he soon gets a big chance to boost up his life, in which he ends up getting into a fight with an opposing player on a hockey team during a game which he attends with his best friend Ryan, played by Baruchel, and he ends up pummeling the guy to a bloody pulp and ends it by headbutting him, and this leads to him getting a contract to play for a minor league hockey team in which he becomes their enforcer, or in its slang term, which is the movie's title, the Goon. And if you don't have a hockey dictionary sitting right in front of you, the definition of the enforcer or a goon for a hockey team is the guy that is brought onto the ice during a game in which a player on the opposing team ends up taking out another player by either violently checking him or even taking him out of the game to the furthest degree, and that player is brought out and he's supposed to fight against the other player on that team who caused the damage and basically get revenge for what happened. I was really anticipating Goon because it was showing Seann William Scott in a different light in his acting, because he wasn't playing the slightest bit of a Steve Stiffler role throughout the film, and that's exactly what he did in this movie, as he delivers a very lighthearted performance while also still being very funny throughout. A lot of the comedy from this movie comes from Glatt's character being very dim-witted and not really understanding the slightest bit of a sarcastic joke, really, and a lot of that translates to very great comic timing that Scott has to convey in those lines of dialogue, and it had me laughing constantly throughout the film. It was so refreshing to see him in a non-Stifler role, and he just nailed it down very well and bare to the bones. He didn't go over the top of the role or anything, and he just delivered on all the over-the-top qualities that this movie has, and it just embraces the sheer ridiculousness of hockey fighting in general. Baruchel, on the other hand, who plays Glatt's best friend Ryan, his shtick worked very fast on me, in which it was different to see him in a role in which he isn't playing a neurotic or nasal-toned character, but instead he ends up playing like a mid-20s version of Danny McBride in this movie, because almost every 5 words in a sentence that his character speaks is one F-word after another, and it just grows really tiresome throughout. The supporting cast for this movie is pretty stellar. You have Alison playing the love interest of Seann William Scott's character. There's also Eugene Levy that plays his father, so that's a bit of an American Pie reunion right there already before American Reunion releases in April. But without a doubt, the best of that supporting cast is Liev Schreiber as Ross the Boss Rhea. Seeing Liev Schreiber in a character that had a slick back mullet and a huge mustache, which also made him look like the Irish Mafia form of Ray Liotta, it was really great to even just see him in that presence, and he fully relishes within that character of just playing his over-the-top qualities, as he also plays an enforcer for a rival team, which is a very Irish-themed hockey team as well. I also have to give a lot of credit to director Dowse for choosing to film all the hockey sequences as they were the real thing, because all of them feel very sped up and they're very competent in the shots, as they're very sweeping in speed, as you really feel like you're on the ice with the players. And he also stylizes all the fights with a lot of very stylistic camera angles, in which a lot of them are not afraid to showcase the graphic detail and all the bloody beatings that take place throughout the film, and they all really entertain you if you take them for the sheer ridiculousness that they are. As much as I enjoyed the film, it does have a lot of script issues throughout, in which there are several moments of comedy that fall flat, and there are several recurring jokes that get old after a little while, in addition to the fact that Alison character is there to kind of slow down the movie, as the romance felt very forced between both her and Seann William Scott's character, in addition to their supporting cast characters that really fade out after the first scene that they're on. They don't appear for a while. But besides those minor nitpicks, Goon is still an entertaining movie. It's not one that you rush out to see in theaters or even just rent on demand. Just wait to rent it when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, and watch it with a couple of friends, maybe even with a few drinks, because it will definitely make that even more fun. As for the fact that this movie is embracing the sheer ridiculousness of the hockey fighting culture, and also for the very solid direction and great performance by Seann William Scott, I'm going to give Goon 3 out of 5 stars. So if you enjoyed my review of Goon, I'll have my review of Wanderlust posted almost right after this, and if you want to see the other reviews that I've made this week, make sure to click these annotations that are placed right here, and you can check out those reviews as well. So in the meantime, I'm Tyler from CaliCritic Reviews, and I'll see you guys in just a bit.